the other fascinating thing about it is that you refer to polycomb, but then I read in your CV also TOR pathway. These are things that are very, very well studied in animals. You would think that, yeah, they basically, you know, if we think about polycombs, they regulate gene expression. If we think about TOR, they sense nutrient metabolism. So would you say that in the end they're doing the very same thing in plants as they do in animals, or there are also differences?
I think you referred to this point earlier with referring to the central nervous system when we were talking about the neuroscience part of it. I think, so what we found is that there is the environmental sensor, TOR, and so this became the cover story of Journal of Experimental Botany in March this year. What we found is that TOR is acting on the polycombs directly, and also Jan Shin's lab from Harvard showed it basically in a recent publication, and this is regulating the H3K2 and 7 deposition in certain or critical genes basically at the promoters. So that's why we think that it is sensing the environment and it is acting on the genes that are important for development. But the thing is, we already knew the polycombs were actually important as a developmental regulator in plants. For flower development it was important, for lateral root development it was important, but the link between the environment and the developmental trajectory was rather missing. The link was missing there. And what happened in animals is we know that TOR is there, and there is hardly any link between TOR and the polycombs because our body is rather fixed, so we don't have something called developmental plasticity. For example, in plants, the roots go underground, and then when they appear, you see that the leaves start appearing from there. So they are very plastic in terms of their development, which is not the case for mammalian systems, or most likely the systems that can run away from danger where there's a central nervous system, so that they don't have to adapt the environment. They can actually react to the environment by moving around. So we think that this is actually very critical in terms of this separation, that polycombs are regulating the developmental trajectory only, or sensing the environment and regulating the trajectory of development in certain plants.